the weeping lasted all night. I know that joy comes in the morning light. So I march on to a new song, 'cause I've been marching to that old one way too long. And I gotta move on and take new steps every day, 'cause I know there is got to be another way. And I'm brighter day, so I march on.
Hello. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Pure Live. Here we are again on a Friday night. Thank you for joining me. Today is talking about this dangerous culture of body shaming, part 2. All right? And today is going to be awesome. But before we dig into it, a word from our sponsors.
In a recent service, Pastor Dan asked if anyone felt disconnected, not apart, all by yourself, alone, or on your own. Realizing that every day, too many people in our community and even in our churches feel disconnected. In our CFC Life Group, we want to let people know that they belong. That's the most important reasons that we have life groups. And now we've added an online community access. With social media fellowship, we consider that connecting people can be messy. Sometimes we have real challenges such as schedule conflicts, transportation and mobility issues, as well as just feeling too tired to travel. We purposefully schedule our life group sessions to explore life application of the message with a discussion among friends. This online life group is hosted by Drs. Aaron and Margaret Jamal, who truly enjoy exploring life in God's Word. So we invite you to belong. Join the newly launched CFC online life group today.
All right. Notice she said today, by the way. Today. So is that what you're going to do today? I hope that's what you're going to do today. All right. Our next sponsor, we always talking about what I'm wearing. And the one that gives me my clothes is honestly sorry. So, our other sponsor, Posh Women's Apparel. Classy, sophisticated, stylish. And here are some of the clothes that she has. And I am going to show you what I'm wearing today. Okay, it's my little fly pose. Okay. And there's my other outfit. So that is what I'm wearing for today. So thank you, Doris. I truly appreciate you providing me clothes. They are lovely, beautiful, and if you want to dress like me or try to dress better if you want to try, you go to this website right here, poshwomensapparel.com. And again, I say poshwomensapparel.com. All right, let's get into it. I'm good, my girl got it all. Thank you, Jesus. Somebody was having technical problems. I'm bringing on my now. We have
Hey, how you guys doing?
Joshua Jamal, Adrienne Locke.
Hey. How you doing?
Hey, your mic is muted, Adrienne. Beautiful, but your mic is muted.
Mic is muted.
That never helps.
Your mic is muted.
Well, vocals, that's not good. You want your mic on.
Exactly.
Hey, everybody.
All right, so today's
a good day. I have to use my AK.
Okay.
It is Chicago.
Oh, you look gorgeous. Today we are doing culture, culture of body shaming part 2. We might start with that. All right, we got some feedback from somebody. I don't know who it is. All right. I really don't know who it is. I'm suspecting. I should. Okay, so we're gonna get into it. First of all, before we begin, Mr. Joshua Jamal, the one male on our panel, and thank you so much for joining us, Gal.
I feel like a minority right now. Huh?
Well, we're all minorities, but you said you have a poem, correct?
Yes, I do. It's called Dear Mirror.
All right, let's hear it.
All right. Who am I? A question that usually ends with another question. Why? Why do I see me as a being of less worth, even though those of worth are from the same earth? Why do I seem feeble and weak, while strength has been something I always strive for and seek? Even at my peak, I stood tall with my chest out and I gave a salute. For the red, white, and blue is what I knew, and the diminish of self-worth still continued. Who am I? What am I? How am I? Different questions that are like a personal reflection that is unknown. I look for this missing piece that complete me, but just like a phone without a receiving end, all I hear is a dial tone. I got nowhere. So I stare at this block of glass called a mirror, and it's clearer and clearer that the answer to my question seems so far and yet so near. I struggled for years, though friends thought me wearing. I'm sorry. I struggled for years until shoes and clothes I once wore didn't fit, even though friends thought me wearing them made me look lit. When people began to fade like leaves on a dying tree, see, these friends are not what they claim to be. As the pigmentation on my skin and the personas I developed begins to fade, one question still remains. Who am I? Who am I? Well, to put it simply, who I am is not what I was taught to be. I am who I choose to be. Who am I? I'm Joshua Jamal. I am me. Thanks. Thank you.
Awesome.
Really good.
What I'm talking about, that is what I'm talking about. And you know that the poem is powerful because it speaks to the effect of, you know, the expectations of the world and how it makes us feel. And that really, really goes with what we're talking about today. So thank you so much for sharing that. And if y'all didn't know you was a good poet before, recognize.
Bravo.
Recognize.
Bravo, Vivo.
Thank you.
So while I was researching, doing a little more research on this topic for part 2, I watched this film, and it's called Straight Curve, Redefining Body Image. I was like, well, this is interesting. What are they talking about? They were showing the whole situation of women trying to get parts in movies, plays, whatever, trying to model, and being told that they're not good enough. They're too fat. You don't fit our picture. You don't fit what we're looking for. Come back to it when you lose about 50, 70 pounds. You know? And it's like people don't realize, and some just flat out don't care, what kind of effect you're having on the people that you're talking to. What kind of effect you're having on these young men and women that just want to be something special, that want to use the talents that they feel they have to share with the world, and they're being told, boo, you're not cute enough. Boo, you're too fat. Or even flat out laughed at. That's cute. You thought you can get in here. Try again. Actually, don't.
Mm.
Do all a favor and don't. That's the reality. That's what it's.
Yeah.
Now there is a movement that seems to be going on right now where they're accepting more, plus size or all different shades of models and things like that.
Sure.
And so it makes people think, what are you talking about? Everything is in now. No, those same people they're being teased, they're being harassed, they're being told they're too fat. Why would they let you be on this cover? Why would they let you participate in this? You know you too fat, 250 pounds will come back. They're still being treated horribly. So I'm gonna start with you, Josh.
You gonna start with who?
Can you
Oh, okay.
you, Joshua.
Okay.
Were you teased when you were younger?
Absolutely.
As you got older, did you continue to have problems with people teasing you?
Absolutely.
Did people tease you because of your weight?
No, not just my weight.
Okay,
At the time when I was younger.
Go ahead. You were
at the time. Well, at the time when I was younger, they teased me for my weight, but I got into the military, and during basic training, I got teased for a variety of things. It was just diminishing all around. They couldn't tease me for weight because I didn't have any extra pounds on me at the time. So I felt like I was at the bottom of the food chain quite a bit while I was in the military. They said it was intended for personal growth and to keep you focused and to make you become a better soldier. It helped with, I would say, becoming a robot, but it didn't give me any positive aspects of life. I would say that, except with the strive at the end of the day to become something better than what they called me, So, over time it got to a point. I mean, I still get teased even to these years. Primarily because of my character. It's always misunderstood. A lot of times because of me utilizing how Asia would say it, a colorful vocabulary. I've been called gay, called white, various things that were not who I am. And, it was really unfortunate. I did feel disappointed and diminished about those comments. And then it just, over time, it got to a point where I made one model for myself. I'd rather be a fire that lights everything ablaze than to be a fire that came to be by a blaze. So I'd rather be that blaze that lights everything else ablaze, And I've stuck with that ever since. I'm not going to be a certain fire or a certain flame because of somebody else. I'm going to be me for me and amplify that in such a way where I will enlighten everyone else. And that's what that did for me,
I love that. You didn't tell me that.
You never asked.
Just in case you guys haven't. Oh, bruh. Just in case you guys haven't noticed by the name, this is my brother. So, this is my family. And I know he's very gifted. He also sings. He can sing, but he doesn't show it as much. But we have a gifted family. But I will say Joshua is an amazing person, and it hurts my very soul that he went through the things that he went through, and I couldn't be there to help him or protect him. I will say this: God does not allow us to experience things that we can't handle or that won't matter us.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So whatever it is that they did to you, Josh, you're still amazing. Just want you to know.
Yeah. Warriors are not always warriors because of the victories they have. Warriors are warriors based off of the battles they fought.
Yeah.
So I know
Oh
I'm
my
still
God.
amazing.
Yeah. Right.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take it down to my sister's dance.
Sister.
Sister. Out of the people here, the one that I haven't known as long would be Adrienne. I gotta tell you guys, Adrienne is like the best friend you could ask for. I just want to say this. She is my cheerleader. And I promise you, she will send me a message when I don't feel like talking to anybody. And I'm going through all kinds of mess, dealing with all kinds of stuff. And Adrienne sends me a message and says, "Are you okay, sis? I just want to reach out to you. This made me think of somebody feedback. I don't know who it is. No, first low, I think. I like to go to speak or something. Um, but anyway, I just want you guys to know, Candra is, we might as well call her Jamal. That's her part of the family, whatever, and ever. We all speak alike. So, it's not Josh. You muted your mic. It's not you. I found the culprit. It's Adrienne. She gave me the look. I love you so much. Okay. So I want to go over some notes that I took in regards to this movie. This topic. So it says 60% of U.S. girls compare their bodies to fashion. Fashion magazines give 47% of teenage girls body image to strive for. 53% of girls at 13 are unhappy with their bodies. By 17, the score is 78%. We need a more diverse range of role models, first of all. The Straight Curve team embarked on a new type of fashion shoot with 12 models of different sizes, ages, and ethnicities. That was reminding you guys, this is the film that I was watching. The diverse images will be curated into a photography exhibition following NY Fashion Week. Now we talk about these names for these people, which is, I don't understand. So straight models is size, that size is a model of size 0 to 4. Curve is a size 10 and above. And then you have the in-between, models in between. 80% of 10-year-old girls, let me repeat that. 80% of 10-year-old girls have dieted at least once in their lives. 10, I have a 10-year-old. 91% of teenage girls have attempted to control their weight through dieting. 50% of teenage girls fast, smoke cigarettes, vomit, or take laxatives to control their weight. If that is not alarming, I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
This is what our society is doing right now. Hearing these statistics, what does that say to you, Candace?
Well, I definitely can speak on this because that's what I used to do. I was a model for years, and there was two roads. There was the white road and there was the black road. And so, giving your labels, I was the thin, the skinny girl. I was always skinny. I was always thin. being 100 pounds, walking in with a white casting director, I was always too fat. You're too fat, lose weight, get a breast job, fix this, fix that. Okay, so I'm not wanted in this community. Let me go to the Black community and do that modeling. You're too skinny. You need to gain weight. You need to have a bigger butt, bigger breasts. So it was like, okay, where do I fit? So in the modeling realm, I didn't fit as well as I thought I would have. Of course, I got jobs. You find those opportunities where you can work, but I felt like it was more so me going to the acting realm than modeling, because I felt like with the modeling, you had to be perfect, your body had to be right. I was constantly, now I didn't have to diet because I was just naturally thin, so I didn't have to go through those. But I do notice now as a woman, I'm very conscious of what I eat. My diet is strictly low carb, no sugar. Like, I am conscious. And the reason why I'm so conscious is because I've been skinny my entire life. I am almost 50. I have 3 kids. And when people look at me, they're like, girl, you gaining weight. And I'm like, well, good Lord, when can I gain weight? I mean, I'm like 3 years shy of 50, I can't gain weight at 47. I can't gain weight after 3 years, married 23 years. I can't gain weight. When can I gain weight? So subconsciously, it's making me, and this is from family, not friends, family. It's subconsciously making me feel like, I don't want no cake. I don't want no dessert, because you guys are not even allowing me to be a woman that I birthed children, and I can't gain weight. So that's the hard part of society and family, bringing you almost like Oreo cooking you in the middle with all these pressures to be something like that you are not. I want to be a woman with curves and hips, which I'm still not. I'm still thin. I'm thin. I'm bigger than I used to be, but I'm still thin. But I still get the tease of, "Ooh, you gaining weight." Now I'm the skinniest person by far in my family. No one comes even close to me in my family, but they're still like, "Oh, you're getting a little pudgy." Oh. And I do wear a size 3-4. So that just shows you, from coming from both sides, I can't win. I can't win. Now, the reason why I'm as strong as I am is because of God. I'm strong in my faith. So I'm not going to allow the little comments to bother me. But what if I wasn't? What if I wasn't a strong person? That little tapping on the shoulder, teasing in a funny way. Girl, you know I was just playing with you. Boy, you know I was just playing with you, Joshua. They think it's a joke because they laugh behind it. But that's when the truth comes out, when I'm laughing. Like, girl, hey, girl, please, you know I was just joking with you. Were you?
Right. And I could agree. It's very discouraging, especially even for me being ex-military. Weight was not an issue for me by a long shot. Asia knows the pictures. I was really lean and cut. And I come back out, and family have attested about my weight gain and said they were very concerned and all these other things. And in fact, when I blew up, from the time I was, and it was actually as of 2016, around that year to now is around the bracket where I blew up. And when I blew up, I was upset. I thought I lost everything, and it was like, I was like, all that good work for nothing, and I was diminished, and everybody's like, "You still good, look good," and you still just like, "No, you don't get it. I know what it's like to be in shape. I know what it's like,
Right.
And I was fighting. I was upset because I know what it's like to be the big kid, and then I also knew what it was like to be in shape and feel like you can conquer the world. I've been on both sides. So when I come back into that fat state, or that big state, if you will, I was my self-esteem was destroyed. And it took a while for me to pick myself back up. Now I'm at a point where I try to use my weight to my advantage. I got into strongman. And so, and I thought I was trying to find a cry for help. And then I looked up some stuff called strongman. I was like, this looks pretty cool. These guys are big, but they're strong. I'm like, this is pretty cool. And I got into it. Fast forward, I got into it, and now a lot of people give me respect for how big I am because of the strength I carry. Being able to deadlift over 500 pounds or flip 600-pound tires and blase sway, they're acknowledging like, yeah, he's big, but he's strong. Like I remember recently, I had to help somebody move, and I picked up a love seat by myself, a washer and dryer by myself, and the only thing I needed help with was their entertainment center. That's it. Everything else, I was pretty much moving by myself. And they're all just looking at me shocked, like, this guy is absolutely
No, you don't know me, I'm a beast.
right. And so
Adrienne.
I love my strength, and I'm thankful that I was able to turn my insecure body type into a benefit.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing. I'm glad that you found that, Josh. I've watched your workouts. You're a beast. I give you your props. Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Adrienne, I want to talk to you because you and I are in the same field. We both sing.
Right.
I know you can sing along with me, but we both sing. Right? Have you ever found yourself comparing yourself, your body, your look to other artists or to other models or movie stars?
Well, absolutely. As a darker African American female, I've always been on this kind of other end of the spectrum where I had to fight a little harder to get noticed and to be given opportunities, because the expectation was, well, she better be able to do something because she's fat or she too black or this, that, and the other. And so aspiring to and wanting to be lighter and taller and thinner. And since I never got any taller than 5'3.5", and I claimed 5'4", I knew I was going to have to get my weight down. Sure, I wanted to be like a Halle Berry. Certainly, back in the day, I think the lighter skinned actresses, the Diane Carrolls of the world, the Diana Rosses of the world. I'm growing up looking at these things and wanting to be like those things. And well, I certainly, my mom was not going to bleach me. She was not going to pay any money to lighten my skin. So I just had to turn and look at some other talents and abilities that I had and just kind of glean into those things. But I went through the whole mental and emotional gamut, and I still bear a lot of the scars of that. At some point, though, I realized that what I brought was unique. When I was young, I couldn't stand my voice because I always had to sing with the boys. And now it's a unique thing to have a low voice. It's a unique thing to be the full package of what I am. Whereas all those things I emulated and I wanted to be like, as I've gotten older, I found that it all kind of equalizes out. So the idea, when I came into the idea, it was cool and it was better to be smart than to be pretty. I think I kind of turned the corner because I thought, well, I can always be smart. I'll be smart forever. Everybody don't always age well. My mom always says everybody get ugly after a certain age because everybody get old. So it's okay. She says, don't worry. And if people say to you, well, you look almost the same as you look when you was in high school, they're just basically telling you ugly, you just got old. I'm like, okay, I'm good with that because that means I didn't have to fall as far as this other person. So when I go to the class reunions now, and all the pretty chilly, the light-skinned girls, they're looking like library moms, and they got 9 or 10 different bags. They got Samsonite, they got Fendi, they got YSL, and all them coming from up under their eyes, their chin, and I'm good with that because black is not black, and I'm straight now. But it took some time. It took some therapy, it took some prayer, it took some introspection and some reading of things to learn to love and accept. And you get older and you do mature. And you do realize that some things are more important on your pecking order than just what you look like. But you got to get there and you got to hang on.
Yeah.
Some people don't hang on long enough. They can't make it to 25, 30. They can't wait that long. And that's unfortunate because they robbed the world of all that they had to give to it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I really wish that media would take some responsibility for the damage that's done with these, especially these teenagers, these younger. My mouth is dropped hearing that 10-year-olds are dieting. What? First of all, I have a 10-year-old daughter, and I sit there and think, did she ever mention anything about her weight? And I remember she sure did. And it didn't hurt my feelings, it broke my heart that she felt she had to be a certain way. She said, Mommy, am I going to be shaped like you when I grow up? And I said, it's a strong possibility. I'm kind of shaped like my mother. And she was just about in tears. And I said, what's wrong? What's the problem? And she said, I don't want to have all those stuff. I don't want to be skinny. And I'm like, because what? Who told you that was the way to be? She said, look. And she showed me pictures in the magazine. I want to look like her. I want to look like her. She's beautiful. I want to look like her. That's like, this is your picture, 10.
Yep.
So help me understand. Are you telling me that you feel like you're not beautiful now? But she is like me. She got a little curviness to her. I started developing about 8 years old. Started developing pretty early, and she's developing, and she hates it because she's so deathly afraid of being too thick and people teasing her for it and her not being accepted. I'm like, I wish they would take some responsibility for this.
Good luck with that.
Right, exactly.
And they're not going to take any responsibility for that.
It's the same thing with men. They do the same
Yeah, they
thing
do.
with men.
And it's very.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was saying it's not even just to that degree. Like, from a character standpoint, they have categorized men, or at least men of our culture, the Black African American culture, in such a way to where if they see anything outside of that, it's, oh, he's not Black. He's probably just dark skinned with a Caucasian heritage or something of the sort. To perceive a Black man to have any form of intellect is a surprise to them. But it's the true state. It's a true statement, to be honest. And also like veterans. Veterans go through the same stuff. Like, we are robbed. I mean, we are taken from a soldier standpoint. When you go, well, at least when I went in, I don't know how it is now, but when I went in, they took everything from you, your rights, everything, and they literally destroyed you to rebuild you back into a soldier. And then when you're done, they bring you back into the civilian world with all that damage still there. People coming back, they're having their purpose taken from them. They're having their drive taken from them. They don't even know what value they have. That's why a lot of veteran suicides occur, because of all the mental health they go through, and nobody's help. No one. The VA ain't doing anything. They're just giving you a medication saying, take the medication, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
You know, or they're telling you to do things that you already thought of doing and it's not helping.
Right.
You know, and it's really society. You know, it's this society that's robbing people of their personal value, of their personal value, you know, to where it's like they don't know who they are. They don't know what they're worth. They don't know anything.
So I'm going to piggyback on you, Joshua. And before I do, I'm going to say, oh, Joshua, you speak so well. Don't you hate that? Like Black people can't speak, we can't articulate. Yo, Joe, what's going on, Joe? Like what it is?
Right.
I say hello. Hey, how are you? Oh my goodness, you speak so well. Oh my goodness, I'm sick of that. So let's throw that out the window anyway. But to piggyback on what you were talking about, there is something on Netflix called The Social Dilemma.
Mm-hmm.
You need to check it out because
I did. I did. I saw it.
Did you see it?
I saw it.
So the people that, for your viewers, the people that created these platforms are wishing they never had because it wasn't meant to be like that.
Mm-hmm.
I invented the likes so we can encourage each other. But now people are committing suicide because they don't have enough likes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're saying kids are spending too much time on these platforms, and because they're not getting the accolades that they think they should deserve, that they are going down that rabbit hole of suicide or cutting themselves because they're not getting praise on a picture.
Absolutely.
First of all, everything is filtered.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't look like this. Let me take everything off. But wait, I got to put a picture up. So hold on. Let me filter everything. And now the best shot of myself. But I took 1,000 pictures to get that one. And then I posted. And I spent 3 hours and no one liked me. Wait a minute. I spent 3 hours trying to get the best picture, the best filter, and no one liked it. So now the kids are committing suicide because of that. Mm-hmm. And that's the problem, that we're opening up this gateway for them to not like themselves, because instead of me having a conversation with the real person, I'm like this.
Exactly.
This is the real person.
Exactly.
So when you say something to me outside of this world, I don't listen to you, please. I'm going to talk to my 5,000 friends.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's the problem. We got these little babies thinking that this is real life.
Mm-hmm.
This is not real life. They're not your real friends. Your mom, your uncles, your cousins, your aunties. Those are your real friends. Those people don't know you. And that's the problem. I think everyone should watch that. Even though it's not really dealing with like the society of your body issues, it takes it to a whole nother level of who you are as a person, because it starts to change and filter your mindset of who you used to be, who you thought you were. But then all of a sudden, I guess I'm really not that person. And now you're this whole nother person because of the things you're looking at. And one important factor that they brought up was, once you start searching for, I want to get skinny, I want a bigger butt, I want lighter skin, then YouTube and all these search engines start sending you that stuff. And that's all you see in your feed. And then all of a sudden you're consumed by it. So apparently I do supposed to look like this because YouTube is sending it to me. So it gotta be true.
Right.
Yeah. Right. And to piggyback on what you said, sorry.
Y'all getting into another topic that I'm already gonna cover. You messing it up.
Oh, we're sorry.
Sorry.
We're sorry. We in it.
I was about to tell. There's another platform like that too.
It's something that but I guess she wants to get on focus.
Wait a minute. No.
you have control of the microphone. You can mic people.
I can. I'm not trying to teach you. Okay, listen. Transparency. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, my family's always supported me. My family's always told me, Asia, you're beautiful. Asia, you're gorgeous. You know, you're this, you're that, you're this and that. I never, to this day, never saw what they saw. Never.
Mm. You didn't tell me that.
I don't.
Now you know.
Oh, you get me back. Okay. Well, one thing you do know is that I tried to kill myself.
No, yeah, I remember that. I tried to stop you.
Yeah, he was present once, and thank God for him. But he wasn't present other times. I just did what God did.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, it was new because I did not feel like I was beautiful, good enough, talented enough, smart enough. And saying these things to my parents were completely confused. They're like, what do you mean? You do this, 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 and this. How can you possibly say you're not talented enough? All these people approach you and want you. How could you say you're not beautiful enough? I said, because nobody is looking at my actual beauty. I outright asked somebody, because they're like always telling me, like, girl, you're fine. The things you do me every time I see you, I can't. But, well, what are my features that you like so much? This part was not included. Girl, them hips, that butt, that. I'm a toy to you. You want a toy to play with. And people made assumptions about me because I had this figure or whatever. Girl, you got all these men. I know you cool. You must be like you go home with somebody every night. First of all, it's not my style. For those of you that do, that's your thing. That's not your thing. It hurt me that it was so doggone difficult to find somebody that could actually look at my true beauty and love me for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I was married before my current marriage. He was obsessed with looking the best. And I'm not talking about just himself. He put that on me. I had 3 children that I birthed out of me. After every single child, I hit that gym. Stronger. You got something. Just ridiculous. Okay, my body was worn out by the time I was done. After my last child, and they always say, after your third child, you kind of, a little wider, open up. No, not me. Because I changed it. So my eating habits were darn near non-existent because I wasn't eating much. I worked so hard that I was actually smaller than what I was before I had the children. I mean, my waist was, you can literally put your hands around my waist like this. I was little.
Wow.
Being that small, he said, about 5 more pounds, he'd be perfect.
Oh.
Wow.
It makes me wonder what he was like. Wow.
Well, he was obsessed with himself too. And Josh knows the man was chiseled. Okay.
Yeah, he had muscle on him.
Okay.
He was chiseled.
Yeah, but what was going on between those ears?
That's a different story.
Yeah, well, that's another talk show.
Okay.
The bottom line is he drove me to a point of insanity that I didn't know who I was, what I was. It scared me because I'm like, I'm a mother.
Right.
I have to raise these children. I don't even know how because I don't know who I am.
Right.
Now, we are fortunate enough to survive the stuff that happened with us, but so many people, as Adrienne pointed out, did not make it.
Right.
I'm 35. People didn't make it to 30. People didn't make it to 20. Well, it was all the way down. 15, 14, 13. Little
In
girls,
fact,
little boys.
I came from a funeral.
You know,
Uh,
you said what?
I came from a funeral from a family that's close to me and my wife. Their son died from a gunshot, and it's because he was trying to fit into a crowd.
Wow.
He was trying to. I remember I had this last conversation with him, and he was tired of living at home. He was trying to become a man and trying to do these man things, as he would eloquently put it. But at the same time, he was trying to fit into a crowd to find his value, and it cost him his life. He died from a setup.
Wow. And how old was he?
He was 18.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I've been seeing, you know, we're talking about the social media and their effect. I'm not going to dig into it because, like I said, I have another show. But the effects that social media has had on people, the last, 2 or 3 months, I kept saying, this social media star is dead because they killed themselves. This person OD'd. This person hung themselves. This person shot themselves. Most people, it's like they're considered social media stars. They had their likes. They had their follows. They had their subscribers. And it still wasn't enough. Still wasn't enough.
Because you're lonely. Just
Yep.
because you have all of those things, that does not mean you have it. You're still searching for something. And that's that insatiable appetite that most people have, that no matter what happens on social media, I'm still not satisfied. I'm still not satisfied. I'm looking for my next fix, just like a junkie. I don't
Exactly.
care if I have 1 million followers. I don't care if I have 1 million likes. I'm waiting for that next hit, that next fix. So I'm constantly searching for it. I never get satisfied. And that drives me crazy to suicide, because there's never a destination. You're always in this journey mentality, journey. And that's what we always do. We try to find the end results and we never get there. And that sometimes is too much for people. They can't handle that because they want to say, I arrived. And when they can't say that, because things keep flipping on them, it's like, I'm sick of this. It's too much. And then they take their life.
You can't feel an emptiness in here with stuff outside of you. Those lights and these outside, it really does have to come from in here. And some people at that age, they still haven't realized, or if they haven't been socialized and raised in a home where esteem is built from within, and you're shown how to do that from within. You observe a lot of that in family. Something you said earlier, Asia, where you said, well, your family didn't understand it. And well, the thing is, just because family has to tell you you're beautiful, they have to, you feel like, well, they got to say, they're my people, they're my family. You know, they're not supposed to tell me I'm a beast and I need to hide under a rock. You need to find ways, though, to build that within a child early, and that encouragement and these things that make them less concerned with that. But you can't feel that emptiness inside of you from outside of you. Fortunately for myself, I learned that at some point. I got around it. But everybody doesn't make it around that. And they don't understand that yet, that they're looking for something that is not going to do the job, because it's not an outside job, it's an inside job.
Right.
Absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. You know, I want to deal with another part, and I'm trying not to tread into my other show. But I want people to understand that those of us, because I'm one, this is my show, those of us that are out there that are doing our thing on YouTube, on Facebook, whatever, those mean comments that you put underneath the video do serious damage. There's this one that I follow because I like to laugh, especially if I'm down. I look for something to laugh at.
Yeah.
And this girl cracks me up. And so her name is Charlotte Dopre, I think is how you say it. Forgive me if you see this and I said your name wrong. I'm sorry. But I love her so much. She's just hilarious, redhead chick that's just so herself. And she can sing. And people, so she's part of this other show. For some reason, I can't think of this other show right now. But she was a part of this other show as well while she was doing her own channel. And what they do is they recap the comments that the viewers have said. And some of these viewers, and she went ahead and read them out loud, were fat shaming her. First of all, she tell right off the bat she's a tall female. She's not short like me and Adrienne. Only 5'2". So, she's a taller woman. And so, taller women, can be a little thicker sometimes, But she's not even close to fat. Nowhere close to fat. And she occasionally she wears belly shirts. And people were talking about her. And it's just like, you guys have no mercy. You don't even know what she's going through. You don't know what kind of battles she's already fighting. And you got the nerve to say this? For her to see, what was your purpose? What was your point? What were you trying to do? What were you getting out of this? Thankfully, right now, she's strong enough to keep going. She's still making her content. But a lot of people don't survive that stuff.
Right.
You get out there, you put yourself out there, and you're doing your thing. There's a young man, he got a lot of views on YouTube because of his voice. Now, what bothered me about this was because their mentality, because there were a lot of reaction videos to him, they're like, you would not think that voice would come out of that. What is that supposed to mean? He's not cute enough to sound like that? What are you saying? Like, when you look at him, you wouldn't think that he would, like, wow. So, show yourself. Let's be the beauty queen that you are, the beauty king that you are. That you are apparently the one that says who is beautiful and who is not. Post yourself. Let me hear your voice. You want to start talking about other people's singing and voices. Let me hear it. I know those people are cowards. I will say it to your face.
Of course.
Straight up.
Definitely.
And the damage you're doing is very hard. People are losing their lives over this stuff. This is why I did this show. That's why I did it. I'll let you talk. I will compare you, and I don't care what anybody says. I will compare you to a murderer. Why? Because your words are killing these people. Your words are taking people to their death. So you are a murderer.
Very well put. Very well put.
That's why our crime. It's a crime now. Cyberbullying is now a jailable offense because of that.
Right.
It should be.
Wake up, people.
Right. So to piggyback on what you said about the beauty queen and beauty king, I used to do a lot of pageants.
Right.
And they had different divisions. So I was always older when I did my pageants. I didn't start off young. I was already, I believe, somewhat married. So I was like maybe 22, 23. But they always had the younger generation, the different ages. I was always the only like black person, and me and this other girl. So I was always the one to stand out because everywhere I went, it wasn't that many of us, but it was a lot of white girls. But it was this one particular girl that I noticed changed. And I went up to her and I said, and now I'm an adult now, and I'm talking to maybe a 10, 12, 13-year-old. And I said, I noticed you changed from the last time I saw you. Something's different. Oh yeah, my mom gave me boob job. Excuse me? What you say? Her mom gave her a boob job. So sometimes the comments are not coming from online. Sometimes the comments are coming from your mother saying that you're not pretty. Now, what kind of damage are you doing to your child to get your child? Now, I don't know where she went to get surgery because I don't even think that's legal to get that done where you're underage and getting some augmentation. She probably had to leave the country to do that because people do. But the fact that you did this to your child, we're not just talking about social media. We're talking about families and moms who are supposed to be the protector of their babies. And they're telling their kids, you're not. So we do have that balance of parents and families encouraging us, but we're also fighting the battle of parents saying you're ugly. So how can we win? How can we, as a platform of us on this platform right now, educate people, educate the young generation, educate and lift them up when their parents are the ones that's telling them that they're not good enough? Because no matter what we say, we can be putting our fists in the air and telling them, you're beautiful, kissing on them, hugging on them. But mom and dad have the final say.
They do.
They're there with that parent more
It's
than
ultimately we have to go towards the parents, and be a voice to the parents to let them know the damage they're doing to their children. And from I've witnessed quite a few boys that literally gave me hugs and talked to me, and a friend of mine named Troy, back in the day, he blatantly looked at me and said, I didn't really have a father, but I look up to you as one.
Wow.
And there are men who struggle with the rejection or neglect of their father, and they're looking for a male figure to be that example for them. And that has to be voiced to the men. Whether the child decides to follow in your footsteps or nay, you still have to be the male role model for these men, so they can follow suit in that. And you have to hold it with such integrity that they're able to follow in your footsteps without feeling rejected or neglected or ashamed.
Yes.
Because
Absolutely.
the black men are a dying breed now because of it.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen.
Mentorship becomes very important. So the things that you do to mentor young men, and in your case, Candra, where you mentor young ladies, there's a mentorship component that should appear or be established in our various communities, especially to make sure that we are exposed to healthier role models and healthier options to encourage and uplift. And the parents that are doing these crazy things, if they could just be like on the outside of a one-way mirror while that child is talking to that mentor to see what kind of damage that they are instilling in that individual, whether it's physical or mental. They need to be able to observe that because they might not even be aware that they're the cause.
They're doing it right.
So an awareness piece comes in where there's mentorship, where there's discussion. I'm giving the last word back to the moderator.
We are running out of time, but I want to say this. Ask yourself, who made them the authority on what is beautiful?
Right.
Who made these people the authority on what is great, what the standard is? Who made them the authority? Ask yourself. You look at yourself. Know that God didn't make any mistakes.
Right.
God doesn't make any mistakes. I know there's some people out there that don't believe in God, and we can have to talk about that later. But the fact of the matter is, I do, and God doesn't make any mistakes.
That's
The
true.
last thing that I tell people on my show, I say, remember to appreciate God's perfect design, which is you. It's you. No mistakes. You're created the way that you're created because God wanted to create you that way for a reason. Powerful. You're powerful in your own way. Stop letting everybody else determine what you're supposed to be like, who you should look like, what you should look like, how thin you should be, how thick you should be, or, you know, what your mannerisms should be like. You know,
Right.
I have too many, too many, too many examples of males being bullied because they said you ain't man enough.
Right.
You're not man enough. Why do you walk like that? Why do you move your hands like this? Men don't do that. Who are you telling? Who made you the authority on how I should act? Who made you the authority on how I should be?
Right. Right.
You are
Exactly.
God's perfect design.
Yes.
You are God's perfect design. That is it. Design. So until next week, Friday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. You know what it is. Be here. We'll do this every week at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Not 9:02, not 9:05, not 9:10, but 9 o'clock Central Standard Time. Be
No
here.
CP
Thank you
Emphasizing
guys.
punctuality.
Absolutely.
I'm in that shit, okay? I like to be on time. But thank you guys so much for being a part of the show. And
Thank you for allowing me.
viewers
Thank
that have
you.
been watching.
Thank you for allowing us.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
Have
Thank
a
you.
wonderful evening. And I will repeat one more time for y'all. Remember to appreciate God's perfect design, which is you.
Amen.
Good night, everybody.